Hi, my name is Cindy Rang.
I'm Brianna Motzkus, and today's FabriChat.
Good morning.
Good morning.
All right, so if you are new here, we are a mother-daughter duo, and we have a quilt shop in Central Washington State. We have the largest quilt shop in Washington State.
I think we do.
We have a retreat village with a large retreat center, medium size, and a small one, and vintage cottages in case you want to come up and hang out with us for a weekend, just to come and meet us. And a retreat doesn't work out.
Itty-bitty showers and sinks. It's the cutest bathrooms you've ever seen.
Yeah.
But if you
vintage. Back when indoor plumbing was a gift and you didn't whine about the size of the
If
sink.
you have a tall husband, warn him. Or I'll have to shower down at the lake.
More than once I've looked at the husband and went, oh.
Ooh, sorry, guy. But it's still really
If you
cute.
know, you know. The best thing-
I would subject Robert to all of that. Don't worry.
There's a scene in the Elf movie.
Yeah. I feel like some have
Just gonna say
that.
that's what it is. But
How dirty are you gonna get just hanging out? You know, really.
yeah, or bring a girlfriend, not those big tall husbands. Either way, it's okay. Anyway, so that's who we are. And somebody happened to notice that I was getting really good at explaining who we are.
You did.
Because,
Yeah.
I'm kind of getting to be a little bit of a habit. Because so often we just sort of start chatting and people are going, wait, what is this? And
Just
the
in
worst
case you
ones
wandered
are...
across.
Yeah, just in case you want to know what all of this laughing is about. Because that's all Wednesday mornings are. Wednesday mornings are just coffee with friends, and we just hang out and, continue conversations that we've been having. So it is kind of hard because some people say, oh, I haven't watched for a little while. Well, then a lot has happened. Yeah. And the other thing that happens is, of course, during box opening, it is critical then that we start with who we are, because...
It takes a while to get to a box.
It does. So many times. You guys probably even see the comments. It's like, wait.
What's happening?
What is this? Why are you talking so much? But the funny thing is, last Sunday's box opening, somebody had said it. Who was it that
And it was long.
That's what she said.
I'm surprised. I mean, I shouldn't be surprised, but I'm surprised it was.
Carol Austin. 1 hour and 41 minutes.
Sorry.
For 1 hour and 41 minutes of chatter for 2 lines of fabric. By the time we were done, it's like, wait,
It was
that open?
It was that 4-minute video insert. I'm just saying. That's what pushed us over the edge.
I don't know what it was, but
It was a good one, though. I thought it was a good box opening. If you like us.
if you like us. If you don't like us, it was torture. If you don't like us, they didn't finish watching.
No. Which means they didn't get any of the toweling, guys.
No toweling. Which, by the way, little tidbit about the toweling. We did order more. I don't think we were able to get very much of this color of that.
The bandana one.
But we ordered more blue, and then there was kind of a brighter, more electric blue that we ordered. And we did find the 60-inch wide, and it's supposed to be here on the 29th.
Oh, awesome.
So I was able to go on and look on the Moda website. And they had some, and so it was kind of funny. We were sort of laughing, and we'll mention this again when it comes and we do the box opening, but a couple of you guys had texted me pictures of what they're using that 60-inch wide for. So, it's 60-inch toweling, so it's hemmed on both sides. So then on the top and the bottom, they just stitch a little bit, about an inch in, and unravel it.
Oh, sure.
I made this for you.
Oh, that is so... Smart.
60 by 72 yards of it.
And it's woven. It's reversible.
Cotton, little, modern, minimalist throw.
Wow.
I know.
Brilliant.
So brilliant.
How did we not know about that?
I know it. I would have never even looked for the 60-inch wide, but anyway. And I suppose we're making other things
Brilliant,
too.
guys.
That's pretty smart to say, I made this for you.
Little fringy, black, white,
I love the little Rice Krispies of sewing things that we
there
find
you have it.
every once in a while.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So anyway, so hour and 41 minutes if you didn't watch. Somebody, and I didn't write down her name, somebody watched it twice.
Good for you. Well, there's probably a lot you missed if you were laughing.
I know. That's what happens a lot. She said, it was so funny. I watched it twice. And about 4 or 5 people said, oh my gosh, it's the whole bed Snickers. When you're laying in bed. Trying not to wake up.
Yeah, we get that too.
Yeah. Carol Austin was the one that said, "Thanks for your insanity."
You're welcome.
That is quite descriptive.
You're
That's
welcome.
pretty good with what it is. So
Yeah.
the other thing, I have to just specifically read out these names. Janice Young, Bonnie Sandberg, local gal, Joan O'Connor, Janine Madewell, somebody named Truffles. I feel like we should be friends. Melissa Bibb, Liz Garrity, Grandma Debbie, and everyone Grandma Debbie knows calls it Napoleon ice cream.
Really?
Quite a few.
It must be a generational
Quite a few.
thing.
I don't know what it is. I think it was just, I don't know. I think, sometimes that happens when you look at a word and then you just see it that way. And that's why you're never supposed to proofread your own things.
Right,
and I suppose, Metropolitan?
Neapolitan.
Say it again?
Neapolitan.
Neapolitan. And now when I see that word, now I still have to read it. But
it's going to bring back triggers.
Forever, I was reading Neapolitan. So it was kind of fun because,
well, I'm unfortunate. There's going to be some cool, really awesome dessert called Napoleon. And then you're going to be like, oh, I can't have that.
There is. So 2 people sent me the recipe, and one was Janine Madewell. And she said she was super excited because she thought she found the recipe for ice cream.
Oh.
And it was a pastry. Oh. And so it's like some sort of a pastry or something. And then somebody else, I think I screenshotted it. She said, this is, Susan Lee. I can't believe I didn't remember Susan Lee. Susan Lee is my, and I think I texted her back that she's the one that always gives me all of the information I need about everything that I got wrong. So Susan Lee says that she agrees the Americanized version of Neapolitan ice cream is gross, all capitals. She says it is named for the Italian flag and originated in Naples. That makes sense that if you're from Naples, you're a Neapolitan.
Sure.
I think so. That makes sense to me. She said, but the original one were colors of the Italian flag. So it was green for pistachio, right? Mm-hmm. It was white for vanilla and red for cherry ice cream. And it was really good. And that was where it came from. And then we made it chocolate, vanilla, and strawberry. Ugh. And I cannot tell you how many people said, yeah, gross, it touches. And your strawberry ice cream cannot touch your vanilla. No. It's totally wrong. Ugh. So lots of you guys, and it's like, and for every one of those, you're my people.
Yeah. The chocolate and vanilla is fine. I mean, you can buy a gallon of swirl ice cream, and I think that's fine. Yeah. You don't have to put all that little Hershey syrup on it. But, but strawberry, ooh.
Strawberry's not right.
But yeah, we only have it in our freezer because it's good for kids' birthdays. And the kids don't care. They're just excited.
Well, and I suppose the idea of it is that way you have 3 versions of ice cream. But does anybody ever pick strawberry?
No, but my kids get it because I'm not just going to throw away strawberry ice cream.
Do they like it?
I don't know.
No.
They eat it.
They don't.
They're not going to turn up their nose to ice cream.
No.
Or a popsicle.
Yeah. All right, so if you missed that whole conversation about Sunday, that's most.
It happened right in the beginning. So it's like, I don't have an hour and 40 minutes. It's like within the first 10 minutes, she tells her story, maybe 15.
Why there are restaurants we can never go back to.
It happens.
It happens a lot. It does. It happens a lot. There's all sorts of reasons why people in Soap Lake wonder about us. Not uncommon is, so this, was it Sunday afternoon? I was out doing yard work and kind of hanging out and, going back and forth I like to start the laundry from the retreat center for the housekeepers. They come every Monday. They're there. And so back and forth, doing different things, weeding and laundering and, whatever. And if you've been to our place, it's this corner directly across from the park. And so if you're over at the park, it's very easy for you to watch us. Watch our conversation.
Either of those things.
Yeah, either way. Whatever you think is most entertaining. It's super easy. And I was listening to a book on tape that was very kind of Jason Bourne. You know what I mean by that? Uh-huh. And so oftentimes I'd be doing something and I'd find myself just stopping.
So now, are you okay, lady?
I know. And then it's like, and then I, keep walking. I probably did that. And I feel like I do that all the time.
That's in the Napoleon ice cream lady.
I walk and listen at the same time. I mean, I can be pulling, I don't know what I'm doing, but maybe I don't get anything done, because all of a sudden it's like, that you're listening. Anyway,
that's pretty fun.
It was a good book. It was, I think I talked about it. Did I talk about the one, what was it? The one that I just listened to was Resurgence. And I found out that it was a sequel to, what was the other one? Dark Matter. Okay, so the one that I listened to a couple of weeks ago was Dark Matter by Blake Crouch. And the funny thing about, and I do recommend that book. That book was really, really, really good. Edge of your seat, good. A lot of scientific kind of stuff. And the idea was, it was kind of about time traveling, but not fantasy time traveling. Mm-hmm. And the whole premise was, what if you had the opportunity to do your life over? What was really good about this book was that about halfway through you realized it was a love story. Mm-hmm. It was the sweetest, made me wonder about this Blake Crouch, because I don't know, I don't think of men as being really good at love stories. Am I wrong about that?
I don't know.
That's probably pretty sexist. I don't read a lot of male authors either. I mean, I have, and I don't particularly care for them. I'm sure sexist. I'm sure that's not right, not politically correct to say. But at the end of this book, I thought, gosh, I kept thinking, I mean, it took me like a day to start another book, because I thought, I couldn't stop thinking about the characters in this book. And so then I did a little search, and they said, number 2 in the series, that this was number 1. Mm-hmm. And I am not a fan of series, so I did number 2, and it was called Recursion. And recursion, that word means like if you're looking like in a mirror, and in a mirror, and a mirror, and a mirror, and a mirror, and a mirror.
Oh, okay.
And it goes on like to infinity. Susan Lee will let me know. I believe that that's what that word means. But anyway, so Blake Crouch wrote that one. And so you think, oh, good, you get to find out what happened. No.
Oh.
No. It is a similar story, and yet entirely different. It is also about time travel and what happens, but whole different scientist, whole different mode of transportation, whole different everything. And yet, beautiful love story. About halfway through you go, oh my God, this guy's got it bad. I mean, this guy is a romantic. It is a beautiful love story. But it's kind of a hard one to recommend, because it's very apocalyptic. There's a lot of scenes in there, people's faces melting, and there's a lot of that kind of stuff. It was very, very good, very edge of your seat, but it's one of those that I feel like I would be judged by recommending it, but if you like that sort of thing. But for those of you guys that really liked the first one, if you happen to read Dark Matter, you probably would like Recursion, a little more graphic, beautiful love story. Total cliffhanger at the end. There's probably a third one. I'm not biting. I'm just going to end it. I ended it in my head the way I thought it should end, and life is good. But it was a very good book. But that's the one that made me like, oh my God,
it's mid-step.
Not again. So, but anyway, and I did start. So let's see. So, of course, we're doing the book club.
Yeah.
We finished Frozen River. Oh.
Mm-hmm. I'm still working on mine, because I have to finish the book I'm on right now to finish.
You can start all over.
I'm probably going to have to.
Such a good book. I would reread that book. I feel like in like 2 years, I would reread that book. I would wait a little while until a lot of it, is like cleared out the cobwebs, and then I would listen to it again or read it again. It was very, very good. What's really good about the Frozen River, and I don't think that I'm, any spoilers by telling you this, is that it is a true story. This woman who it's about truly existed, and her diary that she keeps is real. And when she did the story, she says it is a work of fiction. She embellished things, but all of those people were there, the babies, the all of the stuff that happened. But she kind of created, what's really good about the Frozen River is that there's all of these little side stories and a mystery and who done it, and you kind of figure it out a little bit. I mean, there's not a lot of surprises really in it, but it's interesting to think of how those women lived in the mid to late 1700s in, what was, well, I guess it was Massachusetts, in Massachusetts, but pretty amazing. And the other thing that I'm just going to say that I was shocked at is the amount of premarital sex. Don't you think that that didn't happen a lot back then?
I would not have thought so.
It happened a lot.
Huh.
I know. I was kind of surprised at that, but anyway, other than that, it was really good. And when you get to the final end, and then the author does the little author's note, it's very, very interesting about, you know, all of the facts, and she goes on for a little bit of detail, but and that's what makes me want to. Gosh, I'm going to read it again to know that was a real, you know, that it was. Fairly.
Now you
accurate.
have the book. Does the book have like pictures of journal entries or anything like that, or is it just text? Have you even thumbed through it?
I didn't thumb through the end of it, I did go through as I was listening, and I did mark some pages, but I should go and look at the end. But no, I didn't see anything that was in there. Because I like that. I'll buy a hard copy of a book
to see if there's inside stuff.
Yeah. And if I want to just keep it.
Yeah. Me too.
Put it on so the only things that are on my shelf are 5-star reads.
Yeah.
I don't keep a book that I'll take it to the library. Our local library in Soap Lake, you can drop off books and donate them all the time, and they will sell paperbacks for $0.10 and hardbacks for 25 cents.
Yeah.
So every once in a while I will put in a $5 bill and walk out with a couple of books. Sometimes I bring them right back. But
me and the kids do that too.
It's kind of fun just to get some new books. But the other thing I was going to mention about the whole book club thing is that, so last month, our first month with book club, we had 4 to choose from, and then we all voted, and
that's how we got Frozen River.
I have read all but one of all of the 4, because the way that we got those were recommended by people, and the way and so I want to read a book that people like me will recommend, and then it's the same thing for the 4 for this month that we're still voting on. I think you have until the 30th, because then we announce it on the 1st, the one that was chosen. I believe that there is one that is quite far ahead. But I'm going to read all 4 of those. Dime and I have. And right now I'm reading what's kind of funny, When the Lights Go Out. It is really good. It's kind of funny because on the back of the book it says, that she doesn't even know what is true and not true, and doesn't even know reality. That's not what, it makes it seem weird. It's not what it is. It's good. I'm about halfway through, and it starts out, it's 2 women, and you have no idea you know that these 2 women intersect somehow. And I'm going to say that by about the 3rd chapter, you figure out, I know how they're going to, and you're right, you know, how they intersect. But it's very interesting going forward. It has absolutely kept my attention. It's very, very good, and it's not wackadoodle. It's, there's a reason she doesn't know what's real and what's not, and so far, it's really, really good. So
good.
Anyways, and book club. Let's see. I was going to mention one other thing about. I was going to mention about the. A lot of people have commented about the Blue Dolphins. What's the name of that book?
Yeah, the Island of the Blue Dolphins.
Island of the Blue Dolphins, and I was. That is a 4-hour young adult read, and I cannot tell you how many of you guys have said that you did read it in middle school, or you're a teacher and it is now required.
Yeah, that's cool.
I'm going to say again, I've never... Here, though, I don't know if our reading things, the way that we do things are different. I mean, I remember the English lit books in high school that were required reading, but I don't remember middle school required reading.
I didn't either.
You got to check out, there were recommended things, and you checked out what you wanted, and then there was always a list of questions you had to go on.
Yep.
What was that thing?
It's called AR.
AR. And you had to answer questions to prove that you read the book. But I was a fairly advanced reader, and you were too. All of us have always been readers. And I don't remember ever even seeing that book. But what's kind of funny about young adult books is that it's kind of fun because they're short, they're pretty good reads, and there's nothing very graphic or sexual in there.
It's pretty clean and just knowledgeable or entertaining.
Yeah, there was a book that I read, The Good Girl's Guide to Murder. Have you ever seen that one? It was actually really good. About halfway through, I realized that it was, a Nancy Drew, kind of book. But I still liked it. It was really nice because it was two teenagers that were trying to solve this murder. There was a murder, but it wasn't grisly. There wasn't anything graphic. These two teenagers never even kissed. And that was what I'm thinking, this isn't that kind of book. And it wasn't. It was very clean. It was very nice. It was very, it was fun. And then I realized, again, about halfway through, I realized it was a young adult, but it's still one that then I know that I would absolutely recommend to Eliza. Yeah. Probably not for a couple of years because, there was a murder in it, and that's not so great. But it was a good book. Oh, and then Outlander, Toni Crane was talking about Outlander. Mm-hmm. She said, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful series. She said there is a TV series, but the books are, of course, better. She said the problem is that the books are 800 to 900 pages in length.
Yeah, they're really big. Everyone has said and even emailed me or texted me that the books are 1,000 times better than the movie series. So
I feel like it needs to be like a winter thing, like when we're up at the cabin, or something where. See, because that's my problem, is that I get a little obsessed. I'm not sure that I have that much time. Yeah. But also she said, and here's another thing that I feel like this is why we should wait. She says there's 8 books in all.
Yes.
But she says, we've been waiting over 18 months for part 2 of book 7.
Oh.
See?
What?
I don't know.
Crazy.
I feel like we have to wait just a little bit. In other news, people were asking if we would give an update on Harper. So those of you guys that are on Facebook and you go to Harper Strong, you will have seen and you have, kind of the update of what's going on with her. She is home. She went home on Monday.
Fantastic.
It was very emotional. But she lives, I can't think of the name of her little town in Pennsylvania where she lives, but they had, the police and the fire department did a lights and sirens parade for her to go home.
Cool.
And along the route, they all knew ahead of time what the route was. And all along the route, people were waving and they were out there. They had decorated their trees and their houses and yard signs with all of these hearts to welcome her home. Well, keep in mind that it was... she hasn't been home since October 12th.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so the first night in her bed was Monday night, and they had a picture on Facebook. It was very sweet. She has a new bed, but looks like her room's not decorated yet, but that was supposed to be her big goal, is she wanted to kind of redo her bedroom and kind of start over. So super emotional.
Very cool.
But yeah, so she is now home doing well. She's, she still has a lifetime of anti-rejection medications that she'll have to take, and she has other things. But anyway, so doing really well. And we have one more quilt to put together. We've sent 3. And then the leftover blocks, if we don't use them, we're shipping those along with it because, of course, Harper's grandma is a quilter. Donna Struntz from Quilting with Ying. And then that brings up another, who was it that suggested it? Patricia Berger. She says, an idea came to me while you were talking about Ben and his lovely wife, Lori. Wouldn't it be amazing if we all pieced a block and made her a quilt to wrap around her when she's not feeling her best, so all of our love goes to her and she feels relief? That's a fantastic idea. You'll unfortunately have to put it together.
Yes.
Brianna will have to quilt it.
Yes.
But if you think this is something she'd like, let us know what her favorite colors are and a limited time to get our blocks to you. Just an idea. This is Pat Berger from Michigan. And then immediately someone comes on, Catherine Phillips, and says, that is a terrific idea. Count me in. And then lots of other likes and hearts. And so I think we should do that. I think that's really nice because, we talk about Ben and Lori a lot. They are very special to us, and I think that's a really nice thing.
Yeah.
I think we definitely should do that. So we'll mention it a couple of times coming up, but you guys are hearing it first. Let's do some blocks. I don't know that Lori has a favorite color. She's been a quilter for a long time. Do you think it's blue?
Maybe. Blue. Bright. Something fun.
Yeah, I don't know that it would matter. I think that we could go ahead and let's do 12-inch blocks again. Mm-hmm. So send them to us 12.5 by 12.5. I think the blues are nice, but we could also add a sashing and a border that will kind of bring it all together. Mm-hmm. And what we'll do is maybe do it as soon as possible, because then what we could do is we could do a lap size one with some minky on the back of it. And get that off to her right away, and then as we get more blocks, we could do a second one because Ben may or may not need one. But she is not feeling well. She's not felt well for a while, and so
that's a good idea.
Yeah, I think that's a really, really nice idea. Because I think that's the whole thing about quilting, right? Is that we just have to have somebody to sew for.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it makes us happy when we have someone to make something for, because that's what we want to do, right? Is just make something. Mm-hmm. And then what do you do with it when you make it?
Right.
You find somebody to give it to. But what if somebody really needs what you're making?
Right.
Let's get busy.
Yes.
Any block you want, doesn't matter. And again, if you could attach a note with it, just a little note, I think that would be great. And then we'll get those together. And let's do as quickly as possible, but we won't put a stop date on it yet. All right. And thanks for that. I think that's a really good...
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Really good suggestion. All right. Gosh, it seems like it's mostly just update stuff.
Yeah.
It's because we,
That's okay, though.
I think that it is okay, because I think that, it's all of these continued conversations, but there are a couple of new things. And I need to ask you about this because we talked about Kindle and reading books on Kindle and holding a heavy book or holding a heavy iPad. Everybody had mentioned that I could put the Kindle app on my iPad.
Yeah.
But I have seen Nancy Wenke's Kindle, which is like, a wisp of weight.
I bet you could get a Kindle at the bookery. I bet they sell them.
For inexpensive.
I mean, I don't know.
I have a budget. But... Here's the thing
you bought mine for me, I don't even know how long ago.
And a very long time ago.
Yeah.
Well, money that I'm spending on other people, there's not a budget on that.
That's different.
That's what I spend on myself. How old is this shirt? Old. How old are these pants?
Yeah, I don't even know what
these holes in these pants came by working. I didn't pay for those holes.
Right.
Now they're in fashion.
They are.
I also heard, who told me? I don't know. Blue mascara is back in.
Is it? Fancy that.
Expect some in the next Amazon box.
Oh, I'm more of a just the blacker the better. I've always wanted to get my eyeliner tattooed on because I really like eyeliner, but it doesn't get dark enough.
No, and you know what? CK does that.
And she still applies it.
She does still apply it, and she has it redone about every,
6 to 8 months probably.
At least once a year she has it redone. And then she comes in, and she's all swollen, and her skin is peeling, and, I mean,
it's tattooed.
It just makes me feel so bad for her.
Yeah, because it doesn't get dark enough, and for me, it's like, oh, I'm not going to go through all that work, and, just for it not to be dark enough. No. All right. What was my point going to be looking through here? Oh, I know what it was. That there is something called... Oh, I still need to back it.
I will call it something that it's not. I took a picture of it, a screenshot of it. It's called National Free Kindle Day.
Free Kindle Day? I don't know what that means.
Free Book Day? Free...
Okay, Kindle I know on Amazon... every day there are free books.
Okay, and what I want,
and it's not
this is
Kindle
what we need
Unlimited.
you for.
Because I do it all the time.
It's not Kindle Unlimited.
The only thing I have a trouble with, I don't know what I clicked or what Amazon update is I cannot purchase my Kindle books or my free Kindle books on my phone anymore. I have to go on my laptop and do it. And my Kindle is too old. She don't do that. But which is super weird. It's super annoying. So I take screenshots of the books that I see, and then I go to my computer and then I get them on. But yeah, there are tons of free Kindle books.
And I think that
and there's
you
also
should,
Kindle Unlimited.
What I was thinking is that that you should show us, because I sent you a little link, and I feel like I kind of understand it, that you go to Amazon and you go to Kindle.
Yes.
And then when you go into Kindle, well, if you can't find it, because I couldn't find it that way, but if you click on any book, and then you click on the book, and then you go all the way down to the bottom, and it will say top 100 books. If you click on that, then all of a sudden, right there, it comes up next to it, and it says free books. And then you click on that one, and it's new every day. But I think what we should do is let's just do a really quick video about it, have you do it, and show us. I would like to know if there, I mean, I like my Libby app. I love it, love it, love it. But I don't like waiting.
Yes.
And so
patience is hard.
Yeah, so I oftentimes will go in, because I go through books pretty quickly. I probably do 3 a week. Mm-hmm. And so I sometimes will find myself going into what's available now. Yes. And then I scroll through. And I'm sometimes like, oh yeah, that was on my list or whatever. But otherwise, I have to wait for a very long time. Mm-hmm. And anyway, okay, well, we want to know.
Okay, we'll figure out what she's talking about.
I think it's
and then, regardless, I'll just show you what I know, and then we can go from there.
Well, because no matter what, there are free books on Kindle.
Absolutely.
And it's not the same thing as Kindle Unlimited.
Correct.
And if you have the Kindle app, which is free?
Yes.
On your iPad.
Or, any device.
You can put a Kindle app on your phone?
Mm-hmm. I have mine on my phone. It's free. And what's really nice
Show
is
us that
whether you're getting your free books, your 99-cent books, your $2.99 books, it doesn't matter. Your digital book is way cheaper than an actual paper book or a hardback. And then you can automatically have it sent to any device you want. So
once you have it.
Yes, and mine gets sent to my Kindle and my phone. Automatically. Yeah, it's super easy. And you just purchase it like you're...
And it won't matter if you want to read it or if you want to listen to it.
Well, it would matter, because not every Kindle book is an audiobook.
Oh, that's true. I know that.
Right. So you would it's all reading unless it's Audible. Mm-hmm. And I think you can buy an Audible book, and it'll be the same place. It'll be in your same place. It'll be in your Audible app, but your audiobooks are pretty spendy.
Yeah.
So you're better off, if you're someone who wants to do audio, you're better off doing Audible subscription instead of buying them, because they're a lot. But I mean, they're yours to keep. But so is it. It is also the same as Audible.
Okay.
You buy it for your 1 or 2 credits, and
that makes sense. I think if I had to, I know for a fact, if I have to sit with a book, I would be lucky to finish one every 3 months.
So a Kindle is legit.
That's
reading
why.
it just on an electronic format instead of a actual book format, and it's quite a bit cheaper. But no one's going to read it to you unless there's some really cool app for that. But
as long as it's not a small child reading it to me. Oh my god! I mean,
well, it makes you sleepy every time.
Does it do you too?
When Wyatt tries to read Dr. Seuss to me.
Can I read?
Nope. Can't do it. Dad, your turn. You're up.
No.
I did it last night.
That same exact thing with Paul and I. I'm not doing it. I have too much to do.
What's super sad is Robert will get it's just an 8-page book. He'll get to the 4th book. He's like, "Why can I just finish this book for you?" It's like, that is cheating.
No, you cannot.
He has to learn how to read it, and soon enough he'll get fast enough, and it's not so mesmerizing and makes you go sleepy.
So sleepy. So sleepy. He should, for those of us that suffer from insomnia.
Yeah, I know.
He
needs Wyatt to read
a Wyatt book.
Yeah.
Oh man, 2 minutes.
I can't do it.
So bad.
Oh, do you want me to read it again to you because you fell asleep? No, please. You did a great job.
Yay. I wasn't sleeping. I was closing my eyes so I could listen.
Yeah, resting my eyes.
I love the way you read. But Mom, you were snoring. No, I wasn't. I had a stuffy nose.
Oh, it's hard.
It's so hard.
Ooh.
Oh. Okay. All right, let's see. What else? A couple other things. So this was kind of fun. So Sally Patterson, I think Sally is coming to, I'm sure, she's coming to a retreat this summer. And she had sent, there's apparently a game out there called Word Teasers. Uh-huh. And it looks like it's just a little box with questions in it. Uh-huh. So I thought, oh my gosh, that looks fantastic, because it's English slang. And so I took a picture of it, but now I can't see the font with my picture, but it was all of these weird words, you know, that the British people say.
Well, it's like Boulder Dash. I love Boulder Dash.
Oh, I love Boulder. I'm really good.
That was really good. It's
really good.
Super fun.
Yeah. So I could not find one, but there are, if you look on Amazon, there are many versions of this word teasers. There is history, there's geology, there's English slang, American slang, 80s humor. 80s humor. There's a bunch of them. So anyway, I think I ordered a 3-pack or something of 3 different ones or something.
Oh, fun.
And so I told her, and I thought this might be a fun retreat game. Of course, all they really want is for me to stump you.
I know. I'm easily stumpable.
Yes. And as am I, because the things that I kind of consistently thought I knew without even looking up and was totally wrong. And did we ever come back and tell everybody that black pudding is really a thing and it's not chocolate?
Yes.
It's blood. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Every time I think about that now, get concerned about that. And then somebody else was talking about, to go to England, to eat our way through England. I really do want to do that. There are certain things that you are exactly right. I probably don't tell me what I'm eating until after I eat it. Yep. But and people were asking, now when are you going? Because I like to plan accordingly. And so what I should mention is that we have pretty much planned our trip for next year for Spain.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're going to Spain. Mm-hmm.
We are going to go to Spain on Wyatt's birthday to be able to see the total solar eclipse. Mm-hmm. And it is going to be a cruise because we're going to go to quite a few different stops. Even Tangiers.
Yeah, and we just
lots
talked
of fabric shopping.
Yeah, super exciting. Ray and John, so they don't quite have our itinerary ready, but if it is something that you're interested in or want to know some more details, you can shoot them an email. Hey, interested. They'll put you in the informational category, and then as soon as it's available, you'll be the first ones to get it emailed out to you.
Yeah.
So August.
Super inexpensive. I mean, what we were looking, I don't know that all of the details, but yeah, mid-August. Anyway, we'll have more details coming up. And we should mention just for a second, so we're doing the Alaskan cruise. We have a lot of people going on that.
Yeah.
And in fact, that boat is full except for the few cabins that we have left. We have no more ocean view.
Right.
Balcony cabins left. We have only inside cabins left, only a couple. And we're only holding them, I think, for another week. Was it a week?
Yes.
I think until like May 7th. So if you've been on the fence and you're not sure and you want to do that with us in August, all of us are going.
Yeah.
Brianna and the 3 kids and Robert. Mm-hmm. It is a sewing cruise. I mean, you don't have to sew if you don't want to. It doesn't matter. But we are taking sewing machines and we're doing Crazy Stars. Mm-hmm. We have a fun little, before we get on the boat, excursion that's just for us. And we're going to go to Pike Place Market. And we're going to go to the Chihuly.
Mm-hmm. So cool.
Glass, yeah, super nice. Mm-hmm. Everybody who comes to Washington State needs to see that. Both of those things, super fun. And there's a fun little vintage fabric store in Pike Place Market.
And there's a really cute yarn shop. If you guys want to do yarn shop, we'll walk over to the yarn shop.
Yeah,
it's probably about 4 or 5 blocks from Pike Place, but easy to get to.
Yeah.
So cute. It was what I went to.
Yeah. Good shopping there. I hope they give us enough time there. And then when
you'll be able to see the Space Needle anywhere. So, and it's really close to the Chihuly glass thing, so you can even see it there.
Because I think we're not going up on it. It's
we're not going.
Super expensive to go up there now in long lines, and
it's just as pretty as to look at it.
Just look at it.
That's fine. If you want to do that on your own, you're not far from the dock, and you can taxi over and taxi back.
And we come back to Seattle. You could stay in Seattle a couple days afterwards, but. Then when we go up, when we stop in Ketchikan, we have a special excursion, and we're going to 2 quilt shops in Ketchikan, which is really nice because otherwise they would be closed.
Yeah.
So, but you get to see them because you'll be with us, which will be really good. So anyway, so there's a couple spots left, and we are down to the wire last couple days.
Yeah.
And if you're interested in that, then contact John or Ray, either one. Or us, but we will just kind of forward you there.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's in August. And then we are doing Egypt. So what we were doing we were doing a quilting cruise, and then we would sometimes do just kind of a fun, if you like to travel with friends kind of a thing. We're going to go down to just one trip per year. We just don't have time to do anything else. But for this last year, we do have an Egypt trip planned. And we kind of did a little Q&A where I did that with...
And that posted yesterday.
Okay,
morning.
good. So maybe if you have any questions about that, because a lot of people are sort of nervous because of where we're at, but we're not anywhere near...
all the other unrest.
There's a lot of unrest. There's always going to be unrest in the Middle East. And so, there's unrest on every college campus in the United States for this same thing. So, anyway, he answers a lot of questions, and he was
really good.
It was really good, and every single cruise and excursion and all of the stuff that's going on even today in Egypt is fully booked. People are safe. People are going. And the other thing, my biggest point with that is that Egypt is taking a lot of refugees, taking care of them. The best way to help Egypt is the only way that they make money, which is on tourism. And so anyway, it's our way to help the displaced Palestinians. But anyway, so you can get more information on that. And I think that for that one, final payment and final
June, July-ish.
I think so. I think it's July.
I think it's 3 months before you guys leave, and I think you guys leave in October. So
you can cancel up until then, but that's when it's like, okay, you know, for sure. And also, just FYI. I always get the travel insurance. I think the travel insurance is like a couple $100. It's not very much at all, and it is perfect. If something happens even last minute, last day before you come, whatever, you get a complete full refund. When Brianna ended up not going, and the whole family ended up not going with us to the to Bali because of Maisie not being old enough and not being safe being down there, not being able to be fully immunized. No questions asked. Got a complete full refund. It was perfectly
and it
easy.
Refunds the trip, the cruise part, and your excursion part. It won't refund, of course, your flights. Your flights are something from whoever you book them through.
Separate insurance.
Yeah. But the travel insurance you get from Ray and John is totally worth it. And then the flyers for the Alaska cruise and for Egypt, you can find on the website under the Cruise With Us tab. Also, at the end of you can see the pictures of the flyer. You can get a PDF version of the flyer to send to a friend. And you can also do the sign-up form, which is like, 10 questions. It'll take 5 minutes for you to fill out. It goes directly to Ray and John, and then they will contact you with further information or to answer any questions you have on those. That's, of course, not a, sign your life away. It's just, hey, I'm interested, chat with me, kind of informational.
Tell me what I need to know.
Yeah, that's all.
And again, I think that the fun thing is that if you want to do some traveling and you want to hang out, it really is nice to go with a group.
Yeah.
You have somebody that's watching out for you, that knows where you're at, that takes care of you, is watching for you. I know you're supposed to arrive. Oh, I didn't. Someone is taking care of everything on that end.
Yeah.
Where you're going to stop to eat, what is reasonable to eat, what you should never eat. I don't think that I will ever venture off by myself again.
There's no need to.
No, there's no need to. No need to. So we're going to keep doing this, but kind of fun.
Super fun.
All right, let's see. And then a couple other kind of fun things. Let's see. So one person wants to know, and I wish I knew the answer to this. What do you say? Do you say cookie sheet? Or do you say cooking sheet?
I say cookie.
I do too.
Cookie sheet.
It's a cookie sheet. It's not a cooking.
Or a sheet pan. My sheet pan, though, is like my half, I don't know, it's an inch by...
Is different.
Yeah.
From a cookie sheet.
Yeah.
Cookie.
Cookie. Totally.
Cookie. It's 100% cookie. We want to know.
Do you have cookie sheets? Or cooking
a cookie?
sheets?
Or cooking?
Yeah. I'm a cookie.
Okay. And then... we had these were kind of fun. I might have to share these tonight too in case anybody missed this, but it was kind of funny. So the other thing that we were apparently going on and on for an hour and 41 minutes about, apparently, was, life in the 80s. So I think that's what we were talking about.
Bell bottoms.
Blue
mascara.
Macrame. And everybody said, oh my God! Yes! I still have my macrame plant hanger. I wish I could fit into my hip pocket blue bell bottoms. But this was kind of funny. So a couple of you guys sent a couple of things. I'm so old. I can remember going through a whole day without taking a picture of anything.
Oh, right. True fact.
I saw somebody leaving. She was walking out of the bank. I was pulling up to the drive-thru. And she was leaving the bank. She was walking out. And as she's walking out, I think she was somebody who worked there. And she's taking a little selfie of herself. And I thought, what? You're just texting somebody to say you're on your way home? But
I'm telling you, if a landline was a thing and cheaper now, because up here they're slowly going away, I would only have a landline. I hate my cell phone.
I know. I never have my
hate
phone
everything about it. I don't like having it. I mean, I get why I have it, and having kids at school, it's nice to be able to. But I'm either here at work or at home, or that 20-minute drive from here to get Wyatt to grocery pickup at Walmart to go home. I'm pretty easy to find.
Mm-hmm. And I think that that's what the problem is. Really, is that my phone is on silent all day long.
Pretty much.
And even in the evening, if I am out working or doing something, I have the book on. So there might be a little bing, that maybe, but if I'm involved in the book, I don't hear that little bing or whatever is happening that I got a phone call or a text. Yeah. So I will go all day and not see that you've called me or messaged me.
And at 8 o'clock or 7:45, my silence goes on, so I do not be disturbed. So it's like family time. So I think I have you and Robert and Dad, and I think I have Jordan as someone that could come through. Policeman, that kind of thing, hospital, that will come through, and you can select what phone calls come through. So that, put that on my phone. Yeah, and so sometimes I don't get them till in the morning when my disturb thing comes off at 6:30. I'll say, oh, hey, these are your missed calls, these are your texts. Oh my gosh, life was happening when I was, life was doing family things.
And that's really what the problem is that everybody knows that everybody has a phone. Everybody has a phone. And so now I think that our patience level is different.
Absolutely.
But I just now called you and you have not called me back yet. I don't know. I still haven't heard from her. I don't know. She still hasn't texted me back. And so I think that it's hard because I know. Calm down. 3 hours. I
can be texting you back and forth 5 good texts, set my phone down, and not realize I was in the middle of a conversation until I got 2 hours. I was talking to Jeannie. Dang it. Luckily, she is used to my shenanigans. It's like, I realized you'd find me later.
Because you don't hit send.
I do that sometimes. Or
I do that all the time. I didn't hit send.
I do that quite a bit. Or we are really in the middle of a conversation, but I am needed elsewhere. I have to make dinner. I'm changing laundry. The kids need to show me something. And I just forget that I really was in a conversation. And then, but she's used to it. She also has 2 kids and a life to lead. So she doesn't get upset with me anymore.
That's good. That's good. Yeah. I am also not a big fan of this thing. Even though how many times have I had my hand today?
Almost the whole time.
Because I could take notes.
Or she could take pictures.
Wait, because I get these little emails like, I'm just going to take a picture of it instead of hit print,
Yeah.
This was another really good one from the 80s. That in the 80s, if you missed a TV show, you just missed it.
Yeah.
Forever. And that is true. That is true. I still do not know who killed JR.
I don't even know.
You don't even know what that reference is?
No.
Everybody else out there knows.
Who killed JR?
I don't know. Don't ask me. I don't know who killed JR. But it's one of those. We used to have these things. They were called. They were like evening soap operas, and so there'd be. You'd watch an episode on Thursday night at 8 or whatever, and then the next. It was always a cliffhanger.
Sure.
And that next Thursday night at 8. You get to find out what happened, and then there'd be something else, and then there would be a season where maybe there was it would maybe go on for 12 weeks or something. And I know that at the time they moved things around a lot just to make sure, because they knew which night people had church. That was back when we had church on Wednesday nights. And so there was other things that happened and what they wanted to put on for the lineup. And I remember Sunday night was always, what we always watched on Sunday night was Wild Kingdom, Disney. And then there was, what was the other thing? But they were all kind of these youthful shows, which was kind of good. But, I mean, the learning, I'm sure Disney was learning. But what was my point about that? Oh, but anyway, if you missed it.
There was not a rerun.
No, because the reruns didn't come. And I don't know how they always chose the reruns, because sometimes the reruns would just immediately take off again. And then, if you missed the opening season or whatever, then all of a sudden now it was just reruns. But that didn't always happen. Sometimes they had something else that they would do, or they would, I think, play them out of order. I never knew what happened, but it was terrible. And I think that is why living through the 80s and living through that sort of madness is why I don't like series.
Yeah.
I don't like that commitment, because if you miss it, you miss it. But I know now that life isn't like that. And that was that whole thing with people saying during COVID when they said that they were binge watching. It's like, well, you can't do that. You can't just sit and watch them all.
I binge watch.
That's not. See, I have time. You have to be sick.
Yeah.
If you're, because I used to always say, if I ever got mono, which back then that was I'm going to be in bed for 3 days, I'm going to watch Gone with the Wind. That was like, I think, a 4-hour movie or something. I've never watched Gone with the Wind. I think the book is like, I don't know, that thick, but it's like of Pride and Prejudice type thickness. But anyway, so the binge watching, I don't think I have enough time. I, again, would be super nervous.
Yeah.
That I wouldn't have the time for that.
Yeah. Just a bummer that my kids will never experience the 3-minute commercials. You've got 3 minutes to fill up your water, go to the bathroom, brush your teeth, get your pajamas on, and then you better be back! You better be back! Because nobody's waiting for you.
I know. I think I've told this guy before, and I've told you, it's like, Nana, what is wrong? Because we watch free TV. Yeah, Apple TV or Roku, so it's free. So, you might have 3 minutes worth of commercials. Nana, it's doing it again! This is not what we're watching. It's like, oh, it's a commercial. No, it's not. It's not what we were watching. We were watching something else.
We watched a movie. I don't remember what it was, and it was off of. It was on Amazon, but it was through their like freebie or whatever. So the only way I could watch it was either rent it, buy it, or through freebie, which has 3 or 4 commercials. Oh, it confused the hell out of them. It's like all of a sudden,
wait, something happened.
He's swimming, and then it goes to and Vaseline, and massage and lotion, and he's like, what is happening? They look at me like,
who has the remote?
Yeah, that's what Harper said. Maisie, where's the remote? Maisie's not even in there. It's like, you guys, just a commercial. See the little timer on the bottom?
They still don't get it. They don't understand it.
They don't.
No.
And it's like, oh, it's back on. Yeah, I told you. See the timer? It went up.
Yeah.
It went 3, 2, 1. Ooh, boom.
Yeah.
No, they don't.
There was something that Dad and I were watching, and it was one of those things, things that your kids will never experience. And the other thing that made Dad and I just die laughing was when you ride a bike and you have remember the grippy?
Yeah.
That may never experience the slam of that thing into your shin bone.
Every singing. Oh.
I know, because I think that's something that you don't see a lot. Do you guys see kids on bikes running around all the time?
Mm-mm.
I don't think we do. I mean, I can't think of the last time I saw a kid. I see a lot of old people on bikes.
Yeah.
We like those. But skateboards have made a new resurgence.
A huge comeback. Yeah, there's a lot more
I would not step on a skateboard for 1 second. Yeah, I would break a hip.
A lot of skateboarders in Ephrata.
Mm-hmm. Those were sketchy back when we did them in the 70s. Mm-hmm. I don't know how many falls I took.
Yeah,
I don't know that those are safe. But anyway, I think that your little Schwinn, I think it's not a thing anymore. I don't know.
Maybe when we lived in town, we used to ride our...
I don't think kids go to school. I mean, I think they get taken. Because the pickup line, there was no such thing. There was
really
no, never, never. There was no such thing as a pickup line. You walked or you took the bus. Mm-hmm. And that was it. And if you walked and you were rich enough to have a bike... Mm-hmm.
Good for you.
Otherwise, and we lived across town. You guys were. And there wasn't any such thing as, I think there was school bus for the young kids in town, but we lived on the southwest part of town, and the high school and the junior high were on the northeast part of town. Yep. Not that we lived, 7,000 population of Quincy.
Yeah.
But it was a trek. Mm-hmm. And no one picked you up ever. And sometimes, if you had to get to work, you were booking it.
Yeah.
Because we worked after school back then. But anyway, pickup line was not a thing.
Yeah, it's a big pickup line.
And maybe that's why bikes are not how many kids leave the school on bikes? No one. You don't.
There's quite a few that ride the bikes. Like, I know Landon rides his bike to school, and he lives, 5 blocks, maybe. That would be too many.
How old is Landon?
No, he's in the 4th grade. So how old is that? 8? So he rides his bike when it's like pristine weather. He'll ride his bike. Otherwise, Michaela will take him to school. But Amber's dropped off. I mean, granted, Amber's all the way down here with us, but I don't know.
Get up a little early.
But there's not as many who ride bikes, and I don't know. But I think
we're more nervous now as parents. I think that's the other thing is it was a different time,
right?
You know, back then. I think that, you know,
yeah.
I mean, I'm even nervous now thinking about Landon. Wait, how old is he? Old enough?
Yeah.
It's just different times.
Yeah. It is.
Anyway.
So I don't know. It's one of those things. But yeah, in town we used to ride from our house to the park, played at the park, and then went to Brittany's house. And that's how. And we of course went all the back ways. We went. You know, there's a little like alley road next to the cemetery. We rode that one.
And she's talking about
when I lived here
as an adult with kids.
Yes. And me and the babies would do
You guys did it all the time. You guys
did
were
it all
always
the
outside.
time. And they really, really liked it. And we'd stop at great grandma's, see what's going on there, maybe get a little piece of candy, and then keep on going. You know, we'd
But never alone.
No, they were always with me. They were never able to do it by themselves. And even with just me, it was hard. Sometimes I had to make Robert go. He was leader, you know, Wyatt, Harper, and then we had actually a Harper in the little behind the bike cart thing for a long time because she has the balance of an elephant. I don't know. She can barely stay on. Even with training wheels. She was a hot mess. But Wyatt was really good and Wyatt could keep up and we could do whatever, but it was fun. We enjoyed that. And they try it at home, but it's now dirt. It's now not asphalt and sidewalk. So we have a big path sidewalk at home that they play on or whatever, but when we get into the dirt, their training wheels don't work. So of course they get like high centered on their training wheels and then it's just a whole lot of bike machine. So we're working on getting rid of the training wheels so that they can actually go on a bike ride.
Yeah.
All right. This is that Stash Buster one. We talked and showed. We showed a lot of it.
You had the picture.
Yeah.
So
I look way better, of course.
Pristine and brand new.
Bring up close.
Well, and the other thing too that I'll mention
But it
about
washed
this,
really
because
well.
you can see all of the subs. Well, this quilt is probably 5 or 6 years old.
Yeah, probably.
And this quilt is on my bed.
Loved by Forrest.
All the time. This is unless I've taken this off for like a Christmas quilt or whatever, it's just a throw that's on the foot of my bed. Mm-hmm. And I probably wash this quilt. I would wash this quilt a minimum of once a month.
Yeah.
If not more than that. And so I would say that this quilt has I probably have cut off my head, but this quilt has been washed at least 50 times. Mm-hmm. And so again,
That's
if
really
you
good.
see, so this is all the toweling.
Yep.
See, there's
That's
the
a
toweling.
Mm-hmm.
And I probably need to snip that off. I could easily just snip that off.
But
But
this piece is toweling.
toweling. Let me just, that's just in the seam. It's not anything weird.
And then this is some of that slub.
Yeah, the slub fabric. And this, I think we showed you the black and white, but this was actually the white and black.
And this is actually a cotton piece. This one and the border. The rest of it, I'm gonna guess this is a cotton piece, but the rest of it is that slub and toweling.
And they probably
linens.
can't see this down here, can they? Can
They
you
saw
guys
that
see
really. They saw the embroidery
because
really good
that's
on Sunday.
machine embroidered. Yeah, it's a beautiful quilt. I love it, and it has minky on the back.
It's really
which
fun.
is really really nice.
But yeah, you can see it washes really good, even though it's a blend of slub, linen, toweling, and nothing was pre-washed before it was put in here. And cotton batting and a minky
It
back.
has held up extremely well. Super, super soft. And the other thing, too, and I think we've talked about this before, but you can also throw in a piece of batik if there was something else. You can absolutely mix batik, flannel, all of that stuff. It doesn't matter. It's all okay. It's really, really nice. And it is fun because there are different textures in here.
Yeah.
But,
it's cool. I like it.
and then the other thing, too, I just remembered about 2 minutes ago was when it came to me. We were going to tell them about our ANOVA story, but that's kind of a long story.
Yeah.
So I think what we'll do, we'll find, we kind of have something special planned for Sunday. And so maybe we'll do it on Sundays. Maybe we'll make it a thing it won't be another hour and 41 minutes. But we want to show you something else on Sunday. And so maybe we'll do it then. We could kind of condense the story, but And for those of you that don't know what we're talking about, on Sunday we had mentioned that Jordan and Brittany are now the new Washington State Innova dealers. And Innova is the long arm machines that we all quilt on.
Yeah.
And so we wanted to share. We have kind of a unique, kind of a fun Innova dealer and story. And so, and unique machines. Brianna has one of the only, not one of, she has the only model of Innova that was ever made she owns. And I have the very first one ever made. And so anyway, we have kind of a fun story. Cool. So we'll share that with you, but it's probably already been an hour and 41 minutes. We totally forgot because, I don't know. There was a lot of catch up.
It was on our own.
I feel like there was a lot of catch up to do. So a lot of catch up, and let's start doing some quilt blocks for Lori, and come travel with us. And I think that's about it. And then tonight we have we have something
very exciting box opening. Yeah.
Really exciting. We already know.
Yeah. So, it'll be fun.
Really fun. All right.
All right.
We'll see you tonight.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you for watching our video. We invite you to leave a comment, hit the like button, or better yet, subscribe to our channel so you never miss an episode. You can also visit our Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, or Pinterest pages, or find all of those things and our online store at fabricpatch.net.